Welcome to the broadcast. My name is John Mayfield, the real estate tech guy for Global Real Estate School. And today's session is going to be over the Oklahoma real estate rules and regulations. That's correct. We're looking at the code. And so this course or this broadcast is specifically for those of you who are in Oklahoma. I'm recording this. It will be available on the YouTube channel, but we will also embed this within the course as well. And so Chapter 2 in this section of the Oklahoma course, we will cover the Real Estate Commission and talk about some of the things regarding the Real Estate Commission. We will pick up on more duties and obligations that they have, but just want to go over some of the key features you need to know and to recap for this chapter. So thanks again for joining, and let's get started and go over some key points regarding the Oklahoma Real Estate Commission. Now don't forget, there are 7 Oklahoma real estate commissioners. And the commissioners are appointed by the governor and approved by the Senate. Now I'm going to hit the high points that we've gone over throughout this module. There's a lot of information in the module, but I wouldn't spend too much time. Many of the slides that we go through in the course for this specific chapter, I think are pretty self-explanatory, but you do need to know that there are 7 real estate commission members. Now, here's something else you need to know, and I take a good note of this. All of the members must be citizens of the United States, okay? It's a requirement. They have to be a citizen of the U.S. in order to be on the commission for Oklahoma. Now, they also need to have been a resident in Oklahoma for 3 years, okay? And they are appointed for a 4-year term. So 3 key points there. We've actually covered 4 key points. 7 members. They need to be U.S. citizens. They need to be an Oklahoma resident for how many years? 3. And they need to be, or they are appointed for a 4-year term. 5 of the members, this is important as well, 5 of the commission members must have 5 years broker's experience. So we've got to have 5 years broker's experience for 5 of the members. 1 member is what we call a lay person. They're not in the real estate business. And 1 person has to be from a real estate school. So that makes up your 7 members. 5 need 5 years broker's experience. We have 1 lay person and then 1 person who is appointed from a real estate school. Now, I'm going to just kind of, again, go through some of the high points. How many commission members are there? There are 7, correct. Good job. So we need to make sure we need to know that. And then if I ask you this question here, all of the following are true about the Real Estate Commission except, so let me read you these choices. All of these choices are true about the Oklahoma Real Estate Commission except 5 members must have 5 years experience as a real estate broker. Members must be U.S. citizens, and members must be citizens of Oklahoma for 3 years. And the last choice is members are appointed for a 3-year term. Well, again, 3 of those 4 are correct. The only one that's incorrect is appointed for a 3-year term, because Oklahoma Real Estate Commission members are appointed for a 4-year term. Good job. Okay, and then, so we're going to move here. I'm just kind of going through. We talk in the material about, and I would kind of know this, I think this is something to put in your notes, no more than 2 members shall be appointed from the same congressional district. So in Oklahoma, we have congressional districts, and the governor, remember the governor appoints the commissioners, and they're approved by the Senate. Well, the governor really cannot appoint more than 2 members from the same district. So they've got to spread that out a little bit. And if the districts get redrawn for some reason, new members have to serve it. They can serve out their term and then a new member will come on. I don't think you'll see that on the exam, but you very well could see the fact that only no more than 2 members from each congressional district. Then there's, again, several things that we go through. 4 years is the appointment term. Again, they're appointed by the governor with the advice and consent of the Senate. So you want to make sure you know that. Talks about getting a successor term, but I don't think you will see that. And then again, I just kind of want to go down through some of the information. I'm kind of looking at what we just went over in the course and really, again, pulling out the main points here. I think it's self-explanatory. If a commission member is not doing their job or they're found guilty of wrongdoing or some other thing, the governor can pull that commission appointment and appoint someone else. They're going to be reimbursed for travel expenses. Again, there's a lot of information that I think is very self-explanatory. I would note that the members of the commission within 30 days need to organize themselves and appoint a chair and a vice chair. So they need to do that within 30 days after they begin to meet. I'm going to just scroll on down. There is some mention about the revolving fund. A revolving fund. This was actually created by the Oklahoma Treasury Department and for the Oklahoma Real Estate Commission, and it's called the Oklahoma Real Estate Commission Revolving Fund. The fund actually consists of monies received by the Oklahoma Real Estate Commission other than the Education and Recovery Fund fees. And the Recovery Fund shall be a continuing fund that's not subject to fiscal year limitations. It goes on to talk about some of the things the Recovery Fund can use, and I just want to, talks about expenditures, but we'll talk more about the Recovery Fund in one of the future chapters that we go through. Monies in the fund shall be used to reimburse any person who has been awarded a judgment. So if someone files a complaint or they've been wronged by someone, this Recovery Fund allows the Real Estate Commission to pay monies out to someone who suffered monetary damages. And again, I think most of that's going to be self-explanatory. It can be audited by the state auditor. And then we go into the balance of this chapter really talking about the commission and some of the things that they can do. Of course, make a note that they can sue and be sued in its official name. They can use a seal that they have for official documents, and the court would look at that. This is an interesting point here. The commission shall, at the close of each fiscal year, file with the governor and the state auditor and inspector a true, correct report of all fees charged, collected, and received during the previous fiscal year. And here's the key point here, and I would take a note of this: shall pay into the general revenue fund of the state treasury 10% of the license fees collected and received during the fiscal year. So if you see a question about, how much or what percentage does the commission have to pay into the general fund from fees they've collected from new license fees and so forth, it would be 10%. So I would kind of know that. So some powers and duties, and we'll go through these very quickly. They come up with new rules for you and I as real estate licensees, and how we have to abide and behave ourselves, and things we have to follow and go through. They're involved with the administration of the examinations you will be taking. They also help with the computerized testing, at least coming up with the exams and the testing. They issue license and regulate the activities of real estate brokers, provisional sales associates. Remember, that's what you will be. Those of you who have not taken your test yet, but when you pass that first exam, you are called a provisional sales associate until you take that post-licensing course, and you have 12 months to do that. But they're also regulating and issuing license for corporations, partnerships, associations. They can reprimand licensees. They can put you or I on probation for a specified period of time if we do something wrong. They could require us to take education if we, have some mix-ups with our escrow account. If we're a broker, they can make you go back and take some education on accounting or other types of rules and regs or code of ethics. They can suspend real estate license for a period of time. They can revoke. They can just say, you know what, you can't be licensed anymore. So the commission has that authority as well. Impose administrative fines that we'll talk about in another section. And they can do any combination of all of these things we've talked about. They could make you do more education, give you a fine, and suspend your license. So they can go over any of those items as well. I think the rest of this is very self-explanatory. It does talk a little bit toward the end about the fact that they will create an Oklahoma real estate contract form committee that will draft and revise real estate sales contracts that we use in Oklahoma. And I think that is really some of the main things. They're going to enter into reciprocal agreements with other states and jurisdictions who have license laws similar to ours. In other words, they might work with Missouri or Kansas to say, hey, if someone's licensed in your state, we will allow them to get a license in Oklahoma based on the education and testing that they took through that. And finally, the last item I'll go over here, in any hearing before the commission. So if there's a hearing, a case is brought before the commission, the burden of proof shall be upon the moving party. And so you might want to say, well, who is the moving party? And the moving party is the person who filed the complaint. So again, I'll repeat this. In any hearing before the commission, the burden of proof is or shall be upon the moving party, the party who filed the complaint. Now, don't forget, 7 commissioners, 5 need 5 years broker's experience. 1 is a layperson, 1 is from a real estate school, appointed for a 4-year term. No more than 2 can be appointed from the same congressional district. Have to be an Oklahoma resident for a minimum of 3 years, and you must be a U.S. citizen. Well, good job. We're ready to move on to the next module. For those of you watching on YouTube, well, you're ready to go watch some other videos we have here at Global Real Estate School. Hey, let me just say, if you ran across this video and you're in another Oklahoma real estate school, well, that's okay. We wish you would have come to Global Real Estate School, but tell others who are thinking about their real estate license in Oklahoma, check out globalrealestateschool.com. We'd love to have them as a student. And if you don't pass the test and you're having trouble, come on over. You can always go through our school and we'll help you pass the real estate exam on the first attempt. Don't forget, we have flashcards, digital flashcards that you can put on your phone and study for the exam anywhere. Go to Global Real Estate School. I have a crash course to help you pass the exam with lots of questions. They're national specific, and we've got lots of other resources. Check us out at Global Real Estate School. And one last thing, as I hit the table and make my camera do a little shakiness there, subscribe to our channel. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, and Last time I looked today, we were at 295, but you may laugh at that. We've picked up 100 subscribers pretty quick. And if you subscribe, we'll get to that 100,000 soon. I'm believing that. So be sure and subscribe to our channel. We'll be doing more Oklahoma real estate videos, but you won't know about those if you don't subscribe and click that little bell to be notified. So do that today, and I'll probably be back tomorrow to do a couple more, or at least one Oklahoma Real Estate Commission video that I can put into my end of chapter review for my students going through the course. Hey, thanks for watching the video. As always, go out and make it a great day.